the journey starts back in Mexico. Was born and raised in Durango, Mexico. And my family decided to move to the States, and so I arrived here in 2000. And from there, that desire to serve the church and the priesthood was kind of rekindled. I had that desire when I was a kid. I was sent to St. Mary's University in Minnesota, the Immaculate Heart of Mary Seminary. I spent 4 years in Minnesota, so moving from a warmer climate to a cold climate to Minnesota, I spent 4 years there. After my formation there, 4 years of seminary, I went back to Mexico. I was in Mexico City for 2 years, continuing formation. And from Mexico City, I went to Toronto, Canada, and I spent 2 more years of formation. I was ordained there, deacon priest. I served as a priest there for my first year. Came back to the States, served as a priest here for 4 years in Diocese of Gary. And then I had to go back to Mexico, and I was there for a year and a half. I just came back. I was supposed to be back in July to work here at the diocese and St. Patrick's in Chesterton and to serve here at Marquette High School. But God has a different plan, and so things, didn't work in the way that I wanted, but it worked in the way that He wanted. I think I was about maybe 8 or 10 years old, and I was at Mass, and I had this desire to become a missionary. And I looked at the priest celebrating Mass, and I said, I really want to become a missionary. And I didn't know what, at that time. So I grew up and I forgot about that. But then when I came back to the States and I was reconnected with the faith in the sense that I was involved in a youth ministry and a parish in Chicago, that desire came back. And now that I look back at that moment when I was at Mass and I had the desire to become a missionary, and I see the journey that I've gone through, I think I've become a missionary. I'm a priest in a different country that is not my country, and I've been in different countries as well. And so, yeah, it's just a desire to serve God in different places. And I experienced the church in many different ways in different countries. My time in Canada, I experienced the Universal Church. My first parish, we had people from all over the world. And it was amazing to see different people, different cultures, different languages, but we came as one at Mass. And so it was just wonderful to celebrate Mass and see all those people. So you can see the Universal Church and how the church is so rich in that. So there's so many things that you can serve in the church. And I think you have that desire to serve, and that can be translated in many different ways. So someone who's have this desire to maybe teach or go to a different country and teach there, or serve as a lay person, in the church, as a catechist, a deacon, religious sister, a brother, or whatever. You don't have to be a priest. There's so many things that you can do in the church, and sometimes you don't have to be working for the church in a sense, in the building, but whatever you do, at the office, as you live in your faith and practicing your faith, that's, you're working for the church because you're bringing people back to the church the way you live your faith. So I think, we all have these questions in our minds, what is God calling me to do? And I think as we ask, we have to be ready to listen to His response and His calling, and willing to respond. Because I think that's where we find happiness, and responding to God's calling. That's where the true peace and happiness comes.